I'm Linda Ruland with Positively Asheville. On Tuesday, November 4th, Jen Phillips will be joining us at Sun Tzu, where she will be speaking on anti-burnout.
I burned out spectacularly while holding my dream job at a large software company called Salesforce. I was the senior vice president of global marketing operations. I had a very large team. I reported to the CMO of the company. It was what I had worked literally my entire life to achieve, and I burned out. And I burned out quietly, sneakily over time, not really understanding what burnout really was until my body told me it was too late to do anything other than to um, exit. And I left my dream job. And as soon as I left my dream job, I started learning about burnout. Because I wanted to know what was happening to me. And when I started learning about burnout, I learned that, oh, it's not just me. It's 66% of the workforce, the global workforce. Two-thirds of us will complain or report some level of burnout. It is the highest level of burnout on record. And this is from Gallup, who studies this every single year. It's the largest study of its kind. It's insidious, and it's proof that the problem isn't the person. I am not the failure. The failure is that work is not working for people. And so, as a leader and a leader of leaders, and somebody who cares deeply about and considers leadership kind of the biggest honor I've ever had, other than parenting, I I was very inspired by this information, and I launched a podcast, which I didn't know what a podcast really was. I wasn't a huge podcast listener, but I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it to anybody that wanted to listen to it, because I had no idea that so many people were going through this. And it turns out, as I dug into the data, that so many people that are going through burnout are going through it completely by themselves, thinking there's something wrong with them, thinking they have failed in some way, thinking they are broken, thinking that they are somehow worse than the person sitting to the left or the right of them. But the truth of the matter is, if two-thirds of us are burned out, then if you turn to your left or you turn to your right, one of those people, odds are, is also going through some level of what you're going through. So I started this podcast. And when I started the podcast, I started writing about burnout. When I started writing about burnout and podcasting about burnout, people started reaching out to me and wanting to talk to me. And when people started wanting to talk to me, I made time for it. And I still make time for it. And those conversations were so heartbreakingly beautiful and poignant and touching and sad. And at the beginning of every call, I did hundreds of these calls, by the way, hundreds. And at the beginning of each call, I would say, what do you want to get out of this call? And most of the time, people just said, I just want to talk to someone about this. I started sharing some of the best practices, the research tools that are available to all of us. I started telling people about some of the frameworks, some of the healthy ways of working, the healthy ways of leading that I was learning. Started to try and understand what makes people not change their relationship with work, and really spending a lot of time on telling people they're not broken and what they can do next. And so that's a very long-winded way of me saying I felt passionate about it then. I still feel just as passionate about it now. And what has since happened is women are losing their jobs in tech specifically at 1.6x men losing their jobs. For every quarter of this year in America, in the US, women have left the workforce more than they've joined the workforce because of return to office mandates, because of lack of childcare, and because women in their caregiving years, which is expanding now with the sandwich age, women are being forced out of the workplace. And that made me feel even more fired up to talk to people about healthier work, because in the absence of policy, And in the absence of people getting the support that they need from the workplace and our employers and kind of best practice, government supports, we have to do it for ourselves. And the people who are going to drive that change are the leaders, are the small business owners, are the managers who want to continue growing and being successful. We have to really fully define what success means for us and then be willing to put up boundaries and say, so no, I'm not going to be available in my dinner time and when I'm trying to put my kids to bed and on every vacation. I'm not taking my laptop. And here is what I want people in Asheville to know. You have to believe, even if it's this, I call it MVP, minimum viable progress, even if you only take the tiniest of steps. A tiny step every day towards a healthier way of working is still progress.